So let's jump into West Virginia and commonplace. Um, we have Davonte with us this week. Interesting twist on my whole podcasting experience. Um, such I say a great conversation I had with him that has been broken up into two parts, and I'm releasing the first part today, and we will release the rest of it next week. And then, like I said, leading up to things, he's got music coming out. We've got other guests coming on. So thank you guys for pumping up West Virginia Uncommonplace. Let's keep it going. We get a few questions out here in the air because we do everything organic, but there's a few things I do want to ask you because I may use them in the future if you don't care.
Okay.
What inspired you to really get into music?
Well, growing up as a child in Virginia, it was country, so I was kind of always daydreaming and always imagined myself somewhere else. And mainly, I saw myself on the stage. So when I was by myself, I used to, pretend like I was setting up little different stages in my room. And, anything I saw on TV that was a musical, I was trying to act it out. So it's kind of where it came from.
So basically, like being out deep on Route 60, because you was out in the cut, you was in the
Yeah,
foothills of the mountains,
the Blue Ridge Mountains. I mean, not far from West Virginia, so
Right. I mean, if you jump the wrong way, you're in West Virginia.
yeah.
You skip over Lexington, you out there. So, what was the first song that defined like your style of music? Like what was that?
Well, even though it probably won't see the light of day, it was this record that I wrote. I had to have been, gosh, maybe like 14, 15 years old. It was called The Definition of Me. And basically it was saying, I didn't want anyone to change me. I knew what I wanted my style to be. And just growing up, I was always a precocious kid. I wanted to try different things, try different sounds, and I did not want to be put in a box. So,
Okay, so let's cap a year real quick.
mhm.
You're going off to college after high school. You went through college. You went to
Right.
Amherst County High School, one of the bigger AAA schools in Virginia.
Ha!
And the demographic is crazy
That's
because
funny.
you got people. Because the demographic is kind of crazy because you got rich, you got country, you got extra country, and then you got crispy crunchy. Country people, because some of them Nelson County people went there on the low.
Yeah.
But
My best friend was one of them. Yeah, he went to school. He went to school in Amherst, even though he lived in Nelson County. So yeah.
right, because he wanted a better education.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you get off to college. What was inspiring you in college when you were doing music then?
Wow. Well, there was always something going on, whether it be a fashion show on campus, a play, also new scenery. I was down in North Carolina. I went to North Carolina Wesleyan College. Shout out to my bishops. So, while there, I got to learn entrepreneurship. I got to learn leadership skills. I built the contacts, some of them that I still have today. And I don't know, just being out there, the atmosphere was different. I felt like, my family wasn't there. These people don't know me, so they can't really judge me because they don't know me. So I was just more eager to kind of get out there and get my music out there. I mean, any show they had, I would be in. So yeah.
All right. So once you got your chops out there, what was the first single you put out, or the first bit of music you put out?
Well, I remember at that particular time, it was a record that I had wrote probably 2 years prior to me coming to school. It was called "Step Up to Me," and that record was kind of like, it was R&B, it was hip hop, basically a club banger. Talking about when you're out with your crew and you're on the floor, and just having the confidence just to walk up to that special somebody, and just stepping out the box.
All right, so the music. Now let's swing over and let me ask you a question inside the music. Did the music inspire you ever to did you ever serenade a lover with the music or anything like that?
Well, I'm going to say this because you're trying to get me caught up right here. Basically, I was lucky enough to have those little acoustic coffee house type style concerts in my rec center. And let's just say some of the people saw me, some of the student body saw me in a different light. And let's just say people that I thought wasn't rocking with me was really rocking with me.
So
So
so they
let's
was
just say
rocking
my
hard
spring
with you.
break was. Oh, go ahead.
So they was really rocking with you then.
Yeah. So let's just say my spring break was lit when everybody else was gone. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, all right, because we're not a PG content thing; we're explicit content, so we pretty much throw anything out there. On West Virginia, uncommon place. It's a uncommon place, and we're gonna get some common ground in between that uncommon place.
Right.
Now let's go forward a little bit more. All right, so we're almost finished with your senior year.
Hmm.
You're preparing plans for the future. Um,
Yes.
what were you What were you preparing at that time, and how did you decide that you were going to keep going forward with the music?
Well, originally, I thought I was gonna blow up. No, I'm just kidding. But no, originally I thought I was gonna get a job as someone like in the mental health field, working in North Carolina. I thought I was gonna be able to do my music part time, go to clubs in Raleigh and Charlotte, just fill the club scene out, and then hopefully get with a local label. However, didn't turn out that way. I ended up going back home to the Amherst County area for about a year. I ended up going back to school and then going to school in the Northern Virginia, Washington, D.C. area. And that was where I got my hustle on, for real.
And that's where you got your stronger music chops. I always use the word chops because that's how you throw bows. You hit people with chops. You don't hit them with butts.
Yeah, that taught me the business. Like, being at Wesleyan, I was able to kind of get on the stage and work that creative muscle and just see if I could do it on my own, like put the actual visual part that people see. But then when I went to the Art Institute, I learned about the business, like copywriting, how to split your sales, with your producer fees. Are they going to have exclusive royalties to it, or is it just their producer for hire? Like a lot of stuff that artists don't know. And when they sign these contracts, it's just a lot of stuff that a lot of people don't know. And when I was 16, I was like, oh, I'm going to be a star. And, when you get older, you like, well, I'm glad I wasn't because somebody would have definitely screwed me out of a lot of
So
money.
basically, you don't want to end up like a 50 Cent type Kanye West type deal because 50 Cent, he signed all the music away. Rick Ross just won a case against him over the rights because Eminem and Dr. Dre own 50 Cent.
Yeah, I heard about that. That was crazy. That was
Yeah,
that
and
was real crazy.
he was always making jokes and trolling about owning his stuff, and he's no better than Kanye.
Yeah. I mean, in the industry, you have to do what you have to do to survive. It's like,
And I mean,
I
he's rich
can't.
anyway.
He is. I can't 100% like throw too much shade or throw too much hate towards him because it's just like we're not in those boardrooms when they're making those decisions. And one of those things about where we are now, even though I'm coming in the game later, it's a blessing because now everything is more independent. I can release a song in a matter of minutes, just like you can release your content and the whole world can hear it live at whatever time you want it to be there. So you just really have to know what you're doing. Like, I just feel like you have to really have good faith, good people around you, and just know what it is that you want to do. Because if not, you get ran dry. I mean, that's just what it is. Like,
And I understand it. So let's get back into the music real quick. So
right,
you're
right,
out
right.
here in Northern Virginia, you're out in Nova. You're meeting
Yes,
different people because I figure in this schooling is about like a conservatory type deal.
kind of. I mean, we had like a recording studio at the school. We had two actually. We had green screen rooms, because we had film, so I originally went to school for audio production. Then I ended up doing a double major and just did audio production and video production because they basically ran into each other. And I've always done, things with entertainment. So that was something else that I love. So I mean, basically being at the school, you had everything. I mean, you had some people that were in the food service program. So they were doing like, they went from cafeteria to like catering, like it was high end. It went there, like fashion, music, film, all of that. So at that school, you had to really just say, all right, what is it that I'm really going to do? What is my real hustle? Because at that point in time, you couldn't have any excuse to say, okay, I'm not going to do anything. Because they had so much to offer. Like, regardless if you wasn't good at one thing, you could have been good at something else.
So in between this, you also worked with a lot of sound too, because I remember vaguely you had a job somewhere that I kind of like over at Bose.
Yes, oh God, I remember. Shout out to my Bose team down in Pentagon City Mall. Um, yeah, Bose that's one of my favorite audio companies. No offense, Beats, but I like Bose. My dad always told me to appreciate good quality, but no, working in Bose, they taught me more so how to sell. So
But you had an
that
ear for sound too, because you had to listen to a lot of stuff, correct?
yeah, and the crazy thing was a lot of times if my manager wasn't looking, I was sneaking in a song that I had been working on. And they would never know. Like they was like, "Oh, okay, that's great." He went ahead and dig something out of his playlist. No, that was actually one of my songs. So
Oh, good promotion,
yeah,
right? Good
good
promotion.
promotion. But it taught, like I said, that they taught me how to sell. They taught me how to demonstrate sound. So it was like, okay, I had to learn an elevator speech at work and at school.
All
So
right,
it
so
was
let me
like,
go ahead.
yeah,
So
it
let me
was the
ask you
best
this
of
again.
both worlds. Yeah.
Okay. So being a media mogul, because that's kind of what you sound like. You can do the production in, you got the video in, you can write the music. So you like Awante Austin, Little X, Steven Spielberg, all wrapped in one.
I wish I could say that. I'm gonna tell you, when you can do it by yourself, it takes a lot longer. It's more fun with a team. So, but it can be done.
So let's fast forward a little bit further to the now. Currently, right now, you're in between working on music and getting things straightened out there.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to COVID, unfortunately.
Yeah, COVID has taken us all down, and it's made me get my own radio station or radio TV show because I've gotten bored out here. Not radio TV, a radio show.
Right.
And I
Radio
hope,
One, we need some syndication, man. Come out here, hook a
yeah,
brother up.
yeah. Once everything calms down, we'll have to put a little video out here and there. So let me ask you this: all right, if I'm a
Right.
fan today and I want to hear something by you, where do I go to find it?
So right now, all of my content is exclusively on YouTube. Davonte Davonte with the accent on the .net net. So
Okay.
you can find me on YouTube now. I have an upcoming single that's in the works as well as the EP. I have no definite date yet, but we getting things going, man. It's a slow process trying
Right,
to
COVID-19 shutting people down, getting them out the
shutting
way.
people down, man.
Yeah, we're hoping
Messing with your
20.
money.
Yeah, we hope 2020 will be a better year. So, just a few more questions to go ahead and if I'm a aspiring artist right now,
Mm-hmm.
what can I do to promote my music? Where can I go to is it SoundCloud? Where do you think is the best avenue to go to promote music?
To promote music. Well, honestly, I'm gonna have to say YouTube because YouTube is very resourceful. You could learn how to record your music, do the production, mix and master. I mean, you could do a lot of different things off YouTube, and everybody's on YouTube. Plus, the more ads that are added to your video, I mean, more clicks per post. I mean, you making money too, and it's also getting your music out there. However, SoundCloud, if you're just starting, SoundCloud is awesome because I mean, you can literally go to send somebody a link. They go to SoundCloud.com. They don't even have to have the app, and they go straight to SoundCloud. However, as far as monetizing and getting your revenue and your entrepreneurship on, YouTube would have to be, I would say, a great start.
All right. So here's my next question. In
Mm-hmm.
in the future, are we getting a podcast out of you? Are you gonna get out here and get your own show
We
going?
we might, man. We might, we gotta see. We gotta see what we can do, man. I mean, I think that's gonna be the future. I mean, I wanted to do YouTube, but I feel like YouTube is just so time consuming.
And
However,
do you feel it's kind of saturated right now? Because like this
it
podcast
is
thing, there's 750,000 podcasts out here, but everyone's unique. YouTube is
right.
very unique also, but The thing is you got smaller platforms like Vine, where people were getting on, and you got this revolutionary TikTok, which I'm not part of. I don't have no qualms with it, just
Oh,
not
don't
part
feel
of it.
bad. I don't do it either.
Don't have anything to do with it. I jumped on the Snapchat bandwagon. I kind of like the way that moves. I actually like the way it advertises on there, because you can get verified very fast, like you can on Instagram. You can put on a very quick little video here and there, and you got your product out there. A lot of people making money that way, sort of like what Vine was, but they took it a step further. Added filters, make the ugly look pretty, make the pretty look ugly.
Ooh,
So
that's the scary part.
yeah, that's the scary part about that. So are we gonna ever catch you on Snapchat either?
You probably won't, but
Won't you?
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Tumblr on the low?
Nah, that's what. See, this is the after hours talk, man. Adult Twitter. That's where it's at.
Right. Because Tumblr, yeah, with all the bots that are on there, you kind of got to stay away from that one.
Yeah, just some of the content isn't legal friendly, so we try to stay away from
Yeah,
that.
try to be careful. We don't want no Bill Cosby, Harvey Weinstein, none of that stuff going on right now.
Nah.
Because society, I'm not saying society is very sensitive right now, but society is being very sensitive to a lot of issues.
Well, yeah, and I mean, even especially with COVID going on, I mean, it's driving us crazy. And then you see all the stuff that's going on out in the world. It's just
so. Let me ask you something. This is something personal. Knowing we are actually cousins,
right. Shout out to the fam.
that's something that the audience should know. We're cousins, and we actually share another cousin that's a cousin of a cousin. Her name is Tanja.
Right.
Yeah, that's a direct cousin. Interesting thing there. A lot of people don't know all that, but that's just something funny, because I have a local audience, so I like to let them in on tidbits
Okay.
of different things. But here's the major thing I want to talk about: Trey Songz.
All right.
Trey Songz. Because listen, we've done the music with you now, and I hate to put you on the spot about a little gossip, but how are you feeling about Trey Songz right now?
I mean, you know what? I look at it like this. He's from my home state of Virginia.
Petersburg,
804, right?
804.
And I'm in Richmond, so I mean,
804 all day.
It's sad to hear these allegations, and I'm praying that they're just allegations. I want to continue to support him as an artist. However, if he is doing this type of behavior, I don't condone that. I mean, that's bad for not only you, but that's bad for your brain. So that's kind of mainly where I'm at about it. But I mean, it's just wrong in general. Like, if you have a kid, you know what I'm saying, you wouldn't want, especially a daughter, you wouldn't want them around that particular type of pressure or behavior. I mean, I don't know what else to say, because it's like I'm not in his situation. I don't know him personally, but if I did know him brother to brother, if you didn't do it, clear your name. But if you did do it,
put the pieces back together. Put the pieces back together and hope to God that nothing else comes out. Because
I mean, we're seeing too much. I mean, Cosby, I mean, R. Kelly, I mean, it just seems like there's kind of like a witch hunt for black men. I hate to say it. I mean, the elite is it's crazy what's going on right now.
Right, and it's crazy. And I'm not trying to like go off on other artists, but I would expect something weird to come out from somebody like Diddy, somebody that has been mainstream so long and out here. He busted at some point, and he's a rowdy guy. And for it to seem like
that's Puff right there.
Yeah, for it to seem like he has a squeaky clean image when it comes to that. I mean, he hit up on Steve Stout over the "Hate Me Now" video with Nas. And Steve Stout is one of the pillars of music.
Yeah, I mean, he had a rough going in with Busta Rhymes too. But
right.
I mean, hey,
when
you don't pay people their money, that's a problem.
And I mean, he has paid thugs on salary, and nothing's coming out bad about him. It's just weird.
I mean, Hollywood is a dirty. It's just like politics. I don't know these people personally, so
yeah, it's like
I try to keep. Yeah,
we try to keep it calm on that. All right, so on a lighter note, let's talk a little bit about some other stuff. Now, if you're on the go, do you have like a way that you can record on the go? like like do you have any type of way to record on the go? How do you record when you don't have a studio?
So that's a good question here. So there's lots of ways you can do it. Now, if you're not like, I tell people if it's not in your budget, because iPads are kind of expensive. However, they are cheaper than getting a MacBook Pro. But if you got an iPad, you can record from either GarageBand. Also, check this out. On your Android tablets, there's a free app called BandLab. You can
Okay.
download that online too. That's like the Windows version. So, not to get geeky, because this is what I went to school for, but
Okay.
BandLab is kind of like, in my opinion, the Windows version of Garage.
Okay.
Very simple, easy to use, but you can also collaborate very easily in BandLab. It's one of those web-based type DAWs, digital audio workstations. It's starting to get, I don't want to say it's starting to get played because it's been around. Literally, BandLab was bought out by, Sonar LE was a big production company back in the day, and BandLab bought it out.
So it's
that's
more
how
prevalent now. It's more prevalent. That's what you
it's
said.
more prevalent. It's another one out too that if you guys want to pay for it, you know, most people don't, but if you want to pay for it, it's one called Soundtrap. Soundtrap is very popular. You can produce in it, you can collaborate, you can be on the go. And I mean, seriously, you just get your little tablet. I mean, there are USB mics that you can buy, and you can do a USB to USB connector. Now, if you're still worried about price and it's, something that's a quick demo, then you can just use your regular headset into it. You're not going to get the same quality, but there are nice little USB mics that are portable that you can take with on the go.
Okay, because I use a little portable mic, the little Samson, $30 at Walmart.
Right.
I'm doing a podcast on the go with some extra hookup to the iPhone.
See? I mean, but see, things are getting so easier now. Like you can record demos on GarageBand on your iPhone. I mean, I don't know how it would sound recording the whole album, but just laying some demo tracks and things like that. Because you got to think about it, it's so small and just trying to edit it and it's not enough screen space. So, but, like I said, there's alternatives because I too have been that kid in that place where I couldn't afford Apple. I still can't really afford Apple, but I can afford Apple.
Right,
But,
right. Well, we cheap. Like me, people be like, "Oh, you flashy," but I'm like, "No, I got the 2017 MacBook. It was like $400 or $500. I waited to get it because I know it's got 10 years left on it, lifespan. So I'll buy the 2017, the MacBook, not MacBook Air, not MacBook Pro. Do my thing and still be all right.
Yeah. I will say this, Pro does a lot more though. That's the thing.
It's got
Pro
more
is
ports on
like
it. It's got more ports on
right.
it.
It's got a little bit more manpower too, but one of my favorite brands, not to brag, since we was talking about Bose, Lenovo. Shout out to Lenovo and the ThinkPad. It's been around for like forever. It's trusted. But what you pay for a MacBook Pro, you could have got that and extra customizations on this computer, and they do payment plans. Boom.
Oh yeah.
Not saying Apple doesn't, but Lenovo is a little bit better.
Oh yeah, I feel you on that. But once again, I'll tell you this. I'm an Apple advocate. Man,
He's an Apple fan.
I got a boot camp on here, so when I need Windows, I just flip it over.
See, here you go. On Windows, yeah, you can't do that. But I mean, you don't necessarily have to have Apple. I'm trying to tell the kids out here that you ain't got to go broke just to do your dreams, because I almost did.
Right. Yeah, don't go broke. And I'll tell you, you can always get it off Rent-A-Center for the weeks you need it and then send it back.
Listen, and don't swipe your parents' credit card either. Don't do that.
So it's always avenues for whatever you want to do. Well, not to cut this short, but once again, thank you guys for listening. And like I said, platforms getting bigger and bigger. So if you know that you want to be on air, if you got a business or something that you want to put out there, feel free to drop me a line and we'll link up and do something.